Welcome, everyone, to the Sonoma Spiel. My name is Tim with the Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau. Happy New Year. I've been told that the first week in January is called Circle Back Week. So I have been circling back on everything that I said I was going to do starting in Thanksgiving and never got finished. The problem is everyone else is also doing that with me. So we're all circling back on each other. It's like collapsing. It's like work inception. It's just terrible. So lots of like hectic time going on in the new year when it's supposed to be slowing down. And that's why today I have a very special guest. Now I know every week I say I have a very special guest, but now in the new year, when we're talking about wellness, I do actually mean it. I have a very special guest. I've been trying to get her on the podcast for a long time. She's always out doing stretches and wellness and whatever sort of stuff. I have Jess Williams with Sonoma Yoga. Hi, Jess. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
I am glad you're here. And have you heard that Circle Back Week?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you been circling
Funny
back?
until it's not.
Yeah, I know. The first couple of days, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to get back to everything we pinned. We're unpinning.
Yeah.
And now like there's an avalanche of pins on me.
Right.
And I'm right back to where I
Yeah,
was.
and we're all still tired and want to hibernate.
I know. We got to work on that.
Yeah.
We'll work on that. New Year was good. You're fine.
Everything's good. We've been healthy and just chugging along. So yeah, trying to get started fresh for the new year and enjoy the sunshine and set new goals, but also not stretch too much.
Not too much, which is, I like that.
Being mindful.
You got all the yoga words in already.
There, bam, bye.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, exactly.
Just tell me, what is Sonoma Yoga?
Okay, so Sonoma Yoga, it used to be Yoga Community, if you've been in Sonoma long enough. Mm-hmm. I bought Yoga Community 3.5 years ago now, and it's been a 22-year-old yoga studio prior to that.
Got it.
Sonoma Yoga, I say, is for everyone. We have a class or a style of yoga or even a fitness class for everybody at any level.
Okay.
So we really hope to meet all different types of student at all different type ages. Right. So we have some high schoolers coming now, which is really exciting. We've had family yoga in the past, prenatal, postnatal. So we're always trying to make sure that everyone feels welcome.
Okay. And have you always been a yoga person?
I took my first yoga class when I was 17, which is quite a while ago now, actually.
Because you're now 22.
Yeah.
Yes.
If this was just radio, not video. If I didn't have 4 children.
Right.
So I took my first class in Boston, a Baptiste yoga class, which is a gently heated flow class. And I just fell in love with it.
Okay.
I was far away from home, and I just sort of got addicted to it and would go multiple times a week. And that's where I began my yoga career, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. And then later on, took trainings, moved to New York and Philly, and yoga sort of kept me grounded, I like to say.
Okay.
Then we ended up moving to Sonoma in 2012. And I was commuting to Marin and working there, and teaching at yoga studios in Marin and here. Okay. And found Yoga Community at the time. I managed it back in 2013 through 2015.
And that's when it was over?
On 5th Street West.
5th Street West,
yeah, by the cigarette shop. But still there.
And there was also a taco shop?
Oh, yeah, there's lots of great things.
Vietnamese
Hacienda's
shop.
still there.
Yeah.
There's lots of great things.
Spot.
Yeah.
But you're right, there was tacos and then cigarettes and yoga.
Yeah.
It was a cool yoga studio.
Yeah, no, it was 2 spaces in the boutique. And so I was there for a year. And when that lease ended, I knew we needed to make a change. Gotcha. I think as most business owners probably know in Sonoma, it's pretty key to collaborate and do what you can. I'd always had a good relationship with hotels. Okay. I used to teach at the lodge every day, or I managed the program there and lead hikes for the guests. Okay. And so I've always kept a good relationship with the lodge at Sonoma, lodge down there
on Broadway in Leveroni.
The Marriott Autograph Collection Hotel. And so when my lease was up here, I thought, you know what? We need a change. We need a fresh start. And I was able to move the studio there.
Which I love. Great. What was in that space before? Was it something?
Gosh, how much should I share?
Oh my gosh, what's there?
Yeah. So I had a great relationship with the GM at the time, and I was trying to bring yoga back for the guests. Right. And so I would talk with him and meet with him and talk about it. Where could we move it? Mm-hmm. And so I was walking around the property, and it was a storage room during the pandemic. Okay. So we had canceled yoga during the pandemic, of course, and they were just storing stuff in there. So I said, hey, let me renovate this space and let's bring Sonoma Yoga here.
It looks great.
Thank you.
I mean, we did a photo shoot in there, I think, 2 years ago.
Yeah, right when we opened.
And it looks fantastic. Yeah. And what I love is because you are at the Lodge, which is a beautiful hotel, just south of the plaza, the community goes there.
Yeah,
But then people who are staying there, they can just walk right outside the door and you're right there and take classes.
Yeah, it's been really sweet. Of course, there's always that worry of change and transition. And we've had students coming to us for, almost 15 years now.
Right.
Yoga community before and now Sonoma Yoga. And so, there was that little bit of worry, like, how's this going to work? I will say that parking sometimes is an issue, obviously, as it is anywhere in Sonoma.
Right, absolutely.
But we're lucky enough to have this large parking lot. And then also the levels of classes. We have a lot of all levels classes.
Okay.
And if you're a good yoga teacher, you know that you are teaching an all levels class. Okay. We could call it intermediate, we could call it advanced, but you need to teach to the people in the room.
Okay.
So we were worried about those two things, but it's been great. It's been really great. The community's happy, and it still feels like a small town yoga studio.
Right.
But, we get to meet people from all over, which is exciting too.
Yeah, so from a visitor standpoint, how do they sign up and get there? Can they just show up when there's a class, or do they sign up at the hotel?
Yeah, the classes are open for everybody.
Okay.
And so if you are any visitor in Sonoma, you can come to us, of course. And if you are local, you can come to us. The lodge guests have a special deal.
They do? Oh, great, because you're right there. That's your landlord. So, that's a good way to do it.
Yep.
Well, tell me, what kind of classes do you have coming up? And is there anything new that, trend-wise, I need to know about?
Ooh, yes. So last year, we started to focus more on our fitness classes.
Okay.
And knowing that people love yoga, but they do also like to get a little bit of a workout.
Right.
So I think summer we added Yoga 40-20, Yoga Flow 40-20, which is 40 minutes of flow and 20 minutes of lightweight work.
Oh.
We just had a class this morning at 9:30 with Andrea Bogart. We have another one on Tuesday.
Okay.
So those are very popular. Yoga Sculpt is popular. Okay. We have a couple teachers, Lauren Stelmack and Daria Hall, who teach fitness classes, core flow or cardio sculpt. And my goal is to get people in the door and just have them happy in their bodies, right? I want them to leave happy in their happier than they came, or just feeling good.
Right.
And so if they come for a fitness class but then realize yoga is something different or more, there's something else going on here, then that's how I hope they enter in.
It is. It seems like yoga had a peak moment in our culture.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's still in the ascendancy or settling back to where it was.
Yeah. We went through this stage of yoga celebrities, right? You've got these yoga teachers. Do you love that word?
Yoga celebrities. Thank you.
That? I've been using that for a while.
It's a great one. I thought for a second you were talking about yoga leprosy, which is an entirely different thing, and I don't want to use the mat.
That's an island retreat you never want to go to.
That's so terrible.
Okay, you do not want to be invited on that retreat.
So a yoga celebrity is someone who's a celebrity yoga person.
Yeah, and I went to Wanderlust at Tahoe, the yoga festival at Tahoe, and there's so many amazing, great teachers that they are celebrities, right?
That's fantastic.
And they're amazing.
Right.
Are we still there? I don't know. I think social media and so much has changed how we view fitness and yoga, and there's so many different ways to work out at home from your phone, or there's so many different people to follow. Yeah. So for me, I don't want yoga celebrities at my studio. I don't want teachers that have large egos. We have teachers that have large followings. I'm not going to deny that. But I hope that students come and they try different things, and they try different teachers. And they realize, there's this thread going through each day and each time slot, and that they should kind of step out of the box sometimes.
Okay. I like that.
So you're not going to find the same class, same teacher each time every day, though, mostly.
It moves around.
We move around.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's actually kind of nice, because if you are visiting, there's a lot of variety that could happen at any one time. Yeah. And then if you're local, you know where to find the person that you want to.
Exactly. And we have amazing teachers, and we have people that have the large following. But my hope always, and I always say this, try something new, try something different, Yeah,
because people get stuck in a rut.
Totally.
And that's, January is the whole time when we're all doing healthy things.
Yes.
And sometimes we set up patterns.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't. Mm-hmm. But I know yoga is often the things people think about that is both either daunting, but other people see it as an introductory, lower impact. If no one goes into heavy weightlifting January 1 and they haven't been doing it for a long time. If they do that, they're going to get hurt.
Yeah, yeah. No, true. I definitely think that we see a lot of new clients all the time.
Right.
We have a great new client package. It's $55 for 2 weeks unlimited. You can try as many classes as you want.
Okay.
We haven't raised that price in over a year, 2 years.
Right.
I really want people to get in there and try different things.
Right.
And I agree. I think yoga is a place a good place for people to start that have had no fitness background or have not been working out or taking care of themselves in that sort of way.
Right.
Because it does, we have the great teachers, we have the props, and we have the classes that are able to support those beginning students. I do think yoga is still a little mystical to people, and maybe we could call it breathing and stretching, and that might entice more people. I'm not going to do that, right? I'm not going to do that at the studio, but I do think we still see people that are still confused by what yoga is. And sometimes they don't want the spiritual aspect of it. And it is more about movement for them and breath, right? But the spiritual aspect is a part of yoga. And so it's going to be there.
Is it, I mean, at its core, and correct me if I am wrong, and I am, that, it did sort of a spiritual practice in India as part both of meditation and then physical well-being.
Exactly.
And a lot of these Sanskrit words, are both holy words sometimes and holy intonations.
Yeah.
But they're also used as like, oh, this is the sun pose.
Yeah.
And so you translate it into English. So, but
I think there's still, like feelings of like, how should we be using Sanskrit words completely in our classes? We don't. All our teachers don't. I sprinkle them in. Some teachers sprinkle them in.
Right.
How are we sharing, again, how are we sharing this practice with the people in front of us in the room? So if there's a lot of beginners, I probably wouldn't use Sanskrit words.
Yeah, I didn't know we were signing up for linguistics.
Yeah, exactly. The words are, they're hard to pronounce.
Right.
But yeah, it's always just being mindful about the bodies in that room. What are they there for? So if they're actually just there because it's January and they heard that yoga vinyasa classes are good for weight loss, then okay, then maybe it's a stronger class that they should come to, a strengthening class.
Got it.
But yeah.
Why don't you said flow or vinyasa?
Yeah.
Are there different types of yoga?
Yeah. So for what I have been trying to do over the past year with our schedule is, again, it's all about being able to simplify and look at it and think like that sounds good for me. So our class is called Yoga Flow. That's vinyasa. Vinyasa means flow. Okay. So we now call it Yoga Flow.
Got it.
We have Yoga Sculpt. We have Cardio Sculpt. We have Yoga for All, Yoga Foundations, and Tai Chi. We had a weekly Tai Chi, but right now it's once a month. We're just trying to find the best spot for him, Alex Sutherland. The next one's February 1st.
Does he do it at the plaza sometimes, do Tai Chi? Sometimes I see people there.
I don't think he does. Okay. No, that's a different man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This guy, Alex, he does tree work, and he mentioned, I forget that guy's name, but yeah, that's a different man.
When you said tree work, is that a type of Tai Chi, or he literally is an arborist?
He's also an arborist. Okay.
I'm
just trying to plug him. But there are so many different versions of Tai Chi. We can't talk about it.
I know,
because
I'm amazing. I'm just tree work. You're like, yes. He works on the limbs on both things. Yes.
True too.
Yes. So I love this because you're Sonoma Yoga, but you're also Sonoma Yoga and other things.
That is like So prior to Sonoma Yoga in 2017, I started Sonoma Yoga Privates. Oh. And basically what I saw lacking in Sonoma was a portable yoga studio because we have obviously a lot of vacationers. We have a lot of corporate groups. And so what I did was invest in a lot of mats and props and started to promote it as this moving yoga studio. I come to you, I set up.
Oh, great.
And that has been pretty successful. We've gone to Napa, we've gone to Healdsburg, we've gone outside of Sonoma Valley. Right. I don't know where I was going with
do you still do that? So for a corporate group, want to do a stretch or like a stretch break?
Oh, the Yoga Plus, that's what we're talking about. Yes, so we still do a lot of corporate groups. Obviously at the Lodge, MacArthur Place, anyone that asks, we mostly say yes to those group. We also lead hikes. We lead guided meditation hikes and just regular hikes. So
where do those hikes take place?
On the Sonoma Overlook Trail, mostly.
A lovely trail.
Yeah.
And
beautiful trail.
It's probably gonna be super green now. We just had a week sort of rain, and it's gonna be gorgeous out there. And I love that trail because when you get to the top, it's not that hard, right? It's not like you're not going to the top of Sugarloaf.
Yeah.
But you have a beautiful view back towards the plaza and then the city.
Yeah.
And you're up high.
I love being able to see the city. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
No, it's a good hike for different corporate groups again that are staying close to the square because it's a short distance for them to get to if they have to rent transportation or walk. We've done that before. Walked with them from MacArthur Place.
Right.
And we can get it in an hour or hour and a half, depending. Which
I've done the
really
lunch break.
Nice.
You can walk up there.
Yeah,
and you don't need
super
special shoes.
No,
it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Do you can you explain what is a yoga hike or what is a yoga walk? Like, do you do poses while you walk?
So a guided meditation hike.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's what we call it, guided meditation hike. Usually these are led by one of our great teachers, Joanna Brown. And what she'll do is obviously just have people mindful of their surroundings as they're walking up the trail. And then at the top, she'll lead, I think, a 5 to 7 silent meditation.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's optional, of course, and optional to close your eyes if you want to.
Right.
And then that's really it.
Okay.
And then she'll cut back down.
Perfect. Because I always, when I hear these sort of things, I'm like, am I stopping in the middle of the trail?
You know, she also leads hikes. We have a good collaboration with Sonoma Botanical Garden.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful place.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I love it up there. And Jeannie's great. Jeannie Perales. She should come on the show.
She's been on, and Jeannie, come back.
Okay. Love Jeannie.
What's neat about them, just to give, now we're doing a commercial for Sonoma Botanical Garden.
Totally fine.
They have really neat shows that they do, right? Like they had the bamboo birds, they had the light show, they had the frogs out there. So they bring in different things. So even, plants are amazing and they change through time, but also you can go in and see their traveling exhibits.
Yeah, and they're so well done within the environment. So beautiful.
But so you guys are doing something out there?
Yeah, so for the past couple of years, we've done some day retreats in their founder's house, and we also lead guided meditation hikes there. So Joanna Brown has one tomorrow at 10:30.
Oh, nice.
I know they still have some room.
Okay.
But I think on that one, since it's longer than the Overlook Trail, she will stop occasionally and do maybe a couple stretches if people need it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Have you been in that founder's house?
Yes.
I say we need to do a Falcon Crest party in there because it's done like these 1980s gold.
It's so fun.
It's like over the top.
Totally.
Like, you can all get big. Like you can get shoulder pads.
Yeah, love
and
it.
Big hair.
Yeah.
Right. And like I'll get like a big boxy suit. It's so much fun.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
I told her to do that.
Did you tell her? She's thinking on it. I mean, she's bringing a lot of new programming.
She's
that one feels
not a
like
priority.
yeah. That feels very themed.
I'm like, Jeannie, I'd pay at least $10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a big fundraiser for me.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
It'll be you, yourself, and
Good times.
Yeah.
Jess, you mentioned, did you grow up in Sonoma or Marin or nearby or?
I consider Sonoma County home. I went to high school in Sebastopol. Annalee. Love Annalee.
What are they, like the Fighting Apple people or something? What's their?
Ooh.
The Annalee Tigers?
Well, they're tigers.
The Tigers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go Tigers.
Who are the apple people?
Sebastopol. Sebastopol.
So you didn't grow up here, is what you're saying.
I'm from the South Bay,
Okay.
but what I will always try to do is remember the mascot.
Yeah. No, they're the Tigers.
Annalee Tigers, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I went to school in Boston for a year.
Good. In the hub?
Yeah, transferred to Lewis and Clark in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, cool.
And then ended up back on the East Coast in Philly, or New York for 2 years, and then Philly for 4 years. So I met my partner, my husband, in New York.
So you've done Boston, Philly.
And New York.
And New York.
The city, yeah.
So out of those 3 East Coast cities, what's the best one?
Well, I left Boston after a year. I was so cold. And I was just, it wasn't right for me.
It wasn't your jam.
No. Love New York. Philly's interesting.
Yeah?
Philly, you either love Philly or you hate Philly. There's not a lot of gray area there.
Philly is notorious, of course, for their
Great
sports
walkability.
fans. Good walkability.
That's what I like to say. Great walkability, great restaurants. I was there when the Phillies won
That's exciting.
in 2009.
Okay.
It was exciting but scary because the fans, East Coast fans are different than West Coast
They
fans.
take it
they're
serious.
climbing the light poles. They're throwing
like,
beer
you know
bottles.
what we should do?
I was in Boston when the Red Sox won in 2004.
Hold on.
I'm lucky,
You are lucky.
Maybe.
Oh, well, you go down to Santa Clara for the San Francisco 49ers, who are in Santa Clara.
Yeah.
And because that way we can win.
What's going on now? How far along are they?
We're going to go into the playoffs, and
close
we
to
might
the big game, right?
The big game, which if they want to sponsor us,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
they could totally do it. So you are good luck with sports fans.
I think
didn't think about
I forgot about that.
But you left Boston after a year
Yeah.
because of the drivers.
Yeah.
And then you went to Philadelphia because they're so cuddly and happy.
Well, I was in New York, met my partner,
Right,
and then
okay.
he had a job in Philly, so I followed him there.
Gotcha.
So
New York.
we'll blame him.
Who has better pizza?
Ooh. New York has good pizza.
Yeah.
But you're also eating it in the middle of the night when you've already had a few drinks. So the bagels are good.
But you just hit on the exact same thing. Food is contextual.
Yeah.
And so is it a good pizza?
Yeah. Or is it the experience?
Yeah, it's a good pizza at that time for that price in that frame of mind.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I love Jacob's.
Okay. Local pizza is very good. I was going to do another show. There's a guy named Brian that listens to this who's from New Jersey. contends that the best pizza is from New Jersey.
Okay.
He works at the a hotel in Rohnert Park.
Okay.
And he's like, we need to do the pizza show. I'm like, yes.
Oh,
I need to go to the petty cash fund, get
Yeah.
$200 and buy pizza from everyone.
That's a good idea.
We slap it down and we talk about who's got good and Jacobs has great pizza.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, Mary's has good pizza.
You could
if you're
blindfold
classic.
people too. It could
We
be like
could do a blind pizza tasting.
Yes.
Blindfold. Like
Yeah.
the pizza's not blind, but
Yeah.
you get the idea.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody will want to be on that show.
Even the yoga lady?
I mean, I can't drink the green juice that you brought.
I did. So listeners, I went to Sonoma Market. I figured, I'm having the healthy lady on. That's what you want in my mind.
Okay.
So I got this thing. I asked the guy, I'm like, what's the healthiest juice there? And he said, this Beautifier juice is really good. It's super green. Look at this. It's like, it is dark green. It's so good. It's got in it, ready, Fuji apple, pineapple, lemon, spinach, organic ginger, wheatgrass. And I'm so glad that before I poured you some, I'm like, I'm going to pour you some. Do you have any allergies? And you said wheatgrass. And I thought you were joking. Because
Nope.
there's allergies for all sorts of stuff. Soy, eggs.
Grasses. Yeah.
wheatgrass.
No, not allergic to any of that, but wheatgrass.
You know, it's funny because I have horrible hay fever. I wonder if I am allergic to wheatgrass.
Yeah,
I should do.
maybe.
Have you ever done that
Do
thing
that like
with,
test on your back. That's what I did.
I did that, and the doctor grabbed an EpiPen right afterwards. I
no.
swelled up. Yeah, it was me. But that was, I was
what?
like 18.
From
everything. My whole back just went
gosh.
boop.
Yeah.
But that's also a weird test
Yeah.
because they score your back.
Yeah.
Then putting into your bloodstream
something else.
weird stuff
Yeah.
that your body's like, here's motor oil. Are you allergic to it? And you're like, of course. You're like putting it in
No
my
one should have
bloodstream.
this on their body.
Right.
Yeah. Or in their body. Yeah.
No one should also take medical advice from me because I'm just a guy on the internet.
I mean, yeah.
But there's money there to be made.
People take medical advice from anybody, but we'll save that.
That's on our other
show.
podcast
Yeah.
called Don't Believe the Guy on the Internet.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so you kind of grew up here, there, came back. You mentioned you have 4 kids. Are they all yoga kids?
When we
Yogalatos,
have family yoga, we do the yoga
Shut up.
classes,
You
and
do.
it's really sweet. But my oldest is now 10, so he's sort of becoming a little too cool for it. But my daughter
Yes.
is really sweet because she wants to play yoga teacher, fitness teacher.
Yes, and she's like
that's
still
really
at that
sweet.
bendy age.
Yeah,
Because kids don't have bones until they're like
I
18
know,
or something.
it's so
Is that
crazy.
weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get very bendy and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that. So the kids are, eldest is 10, youngest is like something.
It goes 10, 8, 6, and 2.
God bless you.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
My youngest just turned 2. I have 3 boys and a girl.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's very, very good. Wow.
Yeah, we're having fun.
And
We're tired but happy.
good way to put it.
Yeah.
My kids are off in college now, and every parent will tell you, obviously the days are long, the years are
so
short.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they, they just call you to tell you that their phone needs to be upgraded. Like, thanks.
They call you for that? They didn't text you?
Well, technically they don't call.
Yeah.
Touche. And what's funny is they don't even text. Like I text them.
Yeah.
And they go, I don't read text. I'm like, that's right. I gotta set up like either a Snap or an Instagram and then DM you.
There's too much.
This is stupid.
There's too much. Yeah.
And that goes back to yoga. It's like we're supposed to, and just concentrating.
I know.
Slowing down.
Yeah.
Going on a meditation hike.
We need more discernment in our life with time and what we're looking at and how we're taking information. It's just it's coming in too fast now that we're not able to process it correctly. And so it doesn't have to be yoga, but it needs to be movement. Right. So one way that we can process all this information is moving our bodies, like moving through it, moving through these feelings that we're having, or just getting away from the screens.
Do you find that movement plays out in connection to your emotions or your physical well-being?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
So even if I'm not like super fit though, like just doing some movement.
Yeah. I mean, if you sit in a chair all day, right? And if you looked at a computer all day, right? I'm not going to tell you to do chair yoga. I'm going to tell you to get up and go outside and walk around. You know what I mean?
But if I want, what if I'm elderly?
Yeah. Then I will.
Then I can do this?
Then if you have a good chair,
I'm
your
doing a
feet
chair.
are on the ground, then there's lots of great yoga postures
Sit and be
for
fit.
you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sit and be
yeah,
fit.
Totally. And there's something for everybody. But I think now it's just about anything that makes you feel good, but it needs to be movement. It needs to be something that you're doing.
You got to move it or lose it.
Yeah.
And it's like the classic, only floss the teeth you want to keep.
Yeah.
The dentist tells you that when they think they're so witty. Dentists.
No. I like going to the dentist.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're such
the
a
cleaning.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like they're going to go in there and they secretly judge you?
I only have had half a cavity filled my whole
Great
life.
teeth. I know, I can tell. You're like my wife. My wife. I'm in there like doing everything. And dentist
Still cavities. It's genetics, though. We can't. It is genetics,
no,
though.
thank you. And then my wife, she says, I floss. I'm like, you don't
Yeah.
And perfect.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
Yeah. It's not all the flossing, but I mean, it's very important.
Right. So in the same way I'm saying is like, you should move if you want to be able to continue to move.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like think about your longevity. Think
right.
about your future. And if you have kids and they're still young, like think about your kids' future
you want to be able to get up off the ground.
Exactly. And what are you showing them? You're prioritizing, we can call it self-care. Right? We're prioritizing our health in front of them. And that's really important.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And I hear people, especially going back to this New Year thing, people say, okay, if it's less than a mile, I'm walking. You know, as long as it's not to Costco.
Yeah.
Although that would be amazing.
I know. The Napa one. Dangerous.
Walking.
Dangerous, but
that would be Lewis and Clark level expedition. But yeah, so people try to like just move every day in ways that are achievable rather than like, I'm going to right away do complicated yoga positions or crazy Pilates stuff or something.
Exactly. And I think also like set yourself up for success, right? Don't sign up for a 30-day challenge where you have to practice anything 60 minutes a day or you have to go somewhere. Like don't make it hard on yourself, especially during this time of year when we shouldn't really be doing that. Make the goal accessible. You know, maybe it's a 10-minute walk on your lunch break. Maybe it's, you park farther away. And walk, the walk.
So maybe that'll solve your parking problem.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Well, you can park on Leveroni for us.
You could.
At the lodge. It's a little scary, but.
There is, by the way, we're fixing 3rd Street. Not fixing. They're making that a bike boulevard.
Oh, nice.
So that we'll connect more and then to the Friar Creek Trail and then it'll pop out right by you there.
Yeah, that's great.
That's inside infrastructure in Sonoma.
Yeah, there you go.
Tim.
Nice.
I
think it's just, do a little bit every day.
Right. You said something interesting. You said practice. I've noticed yoga people, Pilates people, all use the word practice. Weightlifters, rugby players, they don't call it that. When you say practice, what do you mean? Well,
you don't do yoga. I guess you don't do Pilates. I didn't know that they did that as well. You practice it. Right? If you were talking about the spiritual aspect of yoga instead of just the physical aspect of it, if we're talking about what is yoga fully, then you practice it because we're never perfect.
Okay.
And so if yoga is not just the physical practice, asana, it's also the breath work and it's also being mindful of how you are with other people and being a good person. And then you're working towards the inner, being able to concentrate, being able to meditate, right? There's this process. There's different, they're called the 8 limbs of yoga.
Okay, see, you just dropped some words right there.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the word asana, so good job.
Right.
So tell me about these 8 limbs of yoga. What does that mean?
Your one Sanskrit word.
You get one Sanskrit per podcast, buddy.
So you see, yeah, exactly. So Sonoma Yoga schedule, we have physical classes, right? That's what you see here, is you see 30 classes that you can come to and be on your mat. These are asana classes. These are the physical classes. In some of those classes, you might get some breath work, right, which is another limb of yoga. You might get some meditation, which is another limb of yoga. But before those limbs comes, like, be a good person. Like, do good in the world, be a good person. Then you've got that. Then getting a little deep, it's like the layers, right? There's layers. Then we have past meditation. We've got the concentration. And the last 2, it's like inner wisdom. You're enlightened.
Right.
You never get to 8.
Gotcha. Okay, no, it's good.
So let's start there. Happy New Year. Do whatever you want to do. Set your intentions. You're never gonna get there.
You're never gonna finish it, but you're gonna practice it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a goal. But should that be, then are we saying, well, it's too much, right? Is it too much for us to handle? Are we not able? If we can't achieve something, then why try? Right. But that's what we're humans.
And that's like a very, like I mentioned, weightlifting. It's like, no, you get your best personal record.
Yeah.
And then you're like buffed and you're awesome.
Yeah.
And that's a very like destination specific.
Right.
But the way you're describing it is a more circular.
Yeah.
The process
it's ever
is
changing. You're always going to have different seasons in your life. You're always going to go through different transitions. Your body is evolving. And so with weightlifters, one of our teachers, Daria Hall, she's a bodybuilder and she does the competitions. Like that's the goal.
Right.
Is the competition, to win the competition. And amazing work.
Bring home the gold.
Oh my gosh.
You get all oiled up.
Like, can you train me?
You get your little poses.
Holy crap.
Right.
But with yoga, it's we are hoping that you're a good person.
Right.
You're setting, you're teaching your children to be good people.
Right.
You are able to use these tools that we learn in maybe a yoga class to help with your inner emotions, your it's inner work.
Okay.
So is it therapy? Some people think movement is therapy. You know, I think we all need different tools in our toolbox.
Right.
And so you might find that moving your body in a certain way with a teacher guiding you is the tool that you need this year.
Right. And I know when some people will go for a massage, they'll find themselves crying because something gets unlocked inside of them.
Yeah.
That some motion and touch.
Yeah.
Boom.
Moving through the fascia and everything. Yeah.
Did you say fascia too? Did you study like kinesiology or anatomy?
Do not ask me any other questions.
Are you an accountant by trade? What was your degree?
No. So I started in Boston in marketing.
Right.
And then I transferred to Lewis and Clark and did studio painting.
Okay.
I got a BA in studio painting.
Okay,
so
fantastic.
past that, I worked in the fashion industry in New York.
Really?
And have always been in fashion or boutiques and customer service.
Did you go to Fashion Week in New York?
I have gone to Fashion Week.
I've been there. I did public relations. So I lied for a living.
Yeah.
So you have to go to New York.
Yeah.
And the weeks I would go during Fashion Week were crazy because was it Bryant Park or one of these parks they had?
Yeah.
Like, big old
They moved
tent
them all
there.
over.
It was
It's
really
such a big
cool.
deal. It's really fun.
And you would see, it was I thought it was like a fake thing, but no, there were like really people running down the street with the racks running between these shops or ateliers.
Moving the clothes. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's a totally different world.
Yeah, it's a totally different world. I loved every minute of it.
Right.
I was there for 2.5 years, and then I hit the point where I'm like, I got to go.
And now you're back in Sonoma, which is the height of fashion, and you're from Sebastopol, very fashionable.
Yeah. I mean, I put on jeans for this. I was in yoga pants all day. So, yeah, definitely have changed.
Could you settle, maybe this might be a discussion that maybe I had with someone that I've been married to for 25 years. Is there a difference?
Does your wife ever come in?
She barely listens to this, but she asked me who I interviewed.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Is there a difference between yoga pants and leggings?
Well, there's a new word called athleisure. Has she mentioned that?
Athleisure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and she's a physical therapist.
There is a difference between leggings and yoga pants.
There is?
I'm on her side probably, right?
You are.
Yeah.
Because she was looking for something, and I said, "Oh, they're like yoga pants or something."
Yeah.
And she's like, "They're different." And I'm like, they're like stretchy pants.
Yeah. No, they're different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you would know. Thank you. Christy, I apologize.
Yeah, there you go.
Once again, hon, you were right. Okay, so before we move on to this, is there anything that I've forgotten to ask you about Sonoma Yoga, or anything a visitor coming or anyone that lives here needs to know about Sonoma Yoga?
All of our mats and props are free to use. That is one question I get all the time through text or email. So we have everything for you. We have water.
So people ask, like, do I need to bring my own mat?
Yeah, which you can, which I definitely think. Do you have your... Yes.
Because today I knew I was talking to you, so I brought a. This isn't my nice mat.
your
I have a
mat.
nicer mat too,
Okay,
by the way.
okay, good,
This
good,
is like a very thin one.
Yeah, I can see.
This is like my traveling mat.
Yeah, that's good.
But I've got
you
the
can fold it.
Jade something.
Jade's good. I like Jade.
I think I actually bought it from you.
Yeah. We used to. Previously, there was a little boutique, and she did carry Jade, and I think she had Manduka and a couple other brands
And I bought
too.
one of the bricks.
Yeah, the blocks.
Blocks.
Yeah, other people call it bricks. That's okay.
Okay,
You're not wrong.
Okay, I'm like, shoot,
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
We call them blocks. But so we have everything for you.
Okay.
So if you were traveling, we have that.
Good.
And all our products are Manduka or Half Moon.
Okay.
If for me personally, like I would want to bring my own yoga mat to a studio, but
if you're traveling and
makes it so much
you're going to a lot of people come to Sonoma, they go to San Francisco first.
Yeah.
Then they come here and they're going to Yosemite.
Yeah. It just makes it a lot easier.
Bring
But
a
even
mat
the
with
locals, we have people that prefer our products anyway, prefer our mats. So we have everything for you.
Okay.
We have, like I mentioned, the new client deal.
Okay.
And that allows you to take as many classes as you can within this 2-week period. You could take classes back to back, which some people do.
Wow. The same day?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I've tried to keep all of our prices low in general. That's something that's really important to me is keeping prices low, having a big schedule, and paying our teachers well. If you look around at all the prices of different things for fitness around Sonoma, like there's a big range.
There is.
And so, we have not updated our pricing in at least 8 months, which feels good, especially during right now, right? Financially for people too.
Things might be a little tight for some people.
Yes.
So you got to have an
we're trying to
affordable
keep
thing.
things accessible. And we're always welcoming new people. We can fit 43 people. So of course
big.
we have some classes that are really packed,
Right.
but I think that you'd always feel comfortable in our space.
And people can just, like I said, a visitor can just buy a one-day pass.
Yeah. You just get your drop in. It's $28.
That's a good deal.
That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
That's not too shabby at all.
No. know.
Have you been to a movie recently? It costs like $28. But it's, same sort of thing. Okay, so I love this. Also, I was going to move on to the question thing, but I remembered something. Something called World Yoga Day or something.
We missed it last June.
Did we? So there's usually, I walk out of my office at the Carnegie, and there's a bunch of people on yoga mats in the horseshoe. And I'm like, I want to see more of this.
Yeah.
I want to see more of this
Yes.
and do more. Because the plaza is an 8-acre wonderland.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We could do stuff on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But what was World Yoga Day, or what is World Yoga Day?
So that's on June 22nd, I believe. And we had an event in 2024. Sonoma Yoga partnered with Euphoria Retreats with Lisa Carlson and Ashley Darling of Darling Wines. Okay. And so I don't know what happened this year. I was on a 3-week road trip with my kids. And so I knew I wasn't going to be involved, but nothing happened. But it's just a day to celebrate yoga all around the world.
And it sounds like on...
So it was free, and we had 3 different classes last year, and they had an event at Darling Wines after, which was really sweet. So
maybe we need to do more on the plaza because then people could see going on.
Yeah.
Even if it's not just
We've
that
thought
day.
about, having family yoga classes on the plaza. And we did that also at Garden Park on 7th Street. We used to always have summer classes there. Coming back to Yoga Plus, you had said yoga and that's really what I envision Sonoma Yoga is. I think yoga is everything. Okay. And I think that it can be on the mat, it can be a hike, it's how you are with other people. And so for me, I want people to leave happy in their bodies and able to share yoga with others. Okay. And so I do hope for more collaboration this year, more outdoor events. I love being outside as much as possible. Okay. So I think that's a good idea. Family yoga on the square. Okay.
Boom.
All right.
Just a little idea.
I know who to talk to. So.
I know some people.
Yeah.
All right. Before we move on to the questions part, some people might even jump off the podcast. So what is your website if they want more information?
Yeah, it's sonoma-yoga.com.
Okay.
And that you can get all the information on our teachers, the pricing. You can sign up for classes. You can pre-register for your class if you know what class you're coming to, but we always have an assistant doing check-ins before. Okay. So we always have somebody there 15 minutes before the class starts.
And it's Sonoma-Yoga.
Sonoma-Yoga.
Do you know why? Because you take a breath.
I
Sonoma
like that.
Yoga.
I like that. Someone else owned the domain, but it's okay. If you Google Sonoma Yoga, I promise you will come up. If you Google Sonoma Yoga privates, because we do a lot of privates, we also come up too.
Oh, good. Yeah. And the people who are URL squatters, why are you doing that? Something else there. Exactly. Okay. Jess, has been wonderful. But before you go.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what we can do here.
Yeah. You know that we have 2 visitor centers. People call us. They text us. They leave us YouTube and social media comments.
Okay.
Sometimes they even get a piece of paper and a pen. And they write it down, and a government employee delivers it to us via mail. Yeah, we get letters in the mail.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, and they ask us questions. So you're going to help us in the segment called We Get Questions. They did. They paid for the stamp. And you know what's funny?
You're kind of an important person, Tim.
Well, yeah, thank you for saying that. Thank you. I'm going to play that back for my kids. Thank you. Thank you. So here we go. We get questions. First question. I have a question. I want to take my wife to the Safari West Adventure
Worth
Tour.
it.
Yeah?
Sorry. Yeah, totally worth it. I did that for my birthday a couple years ago. We spent the night. It's so great. Okay, what's the question, though?
That was the question. Have you done the tour, and do you have any recommendations?
It's so great. Stay there, have dinner there before. It's a perfect experience. We had our kids with us, which was totally fine, and it was really great.
And you stayed in one of the tents?
Yes. It's so sweet. Yeah, it really is.
Safari West is amazing. It's in far northern Sonoma Valley. It's technically just out of the valley. It is beautiful. This guy on YouTube commented this, and he wanted to know. So.
Yeah, I forget the dates that they're open. I think they close December through March. Are they open in March?
Maybe. It does get a little cool up there in winter. Because you're in a canvas safari.
Yeah. So we went in September. I was going to say my birthday, but I'm a Virgo. September was a great time. But we did the tour in March too. And spring was nice, but it was cold and rainy.
Right.
Yeah. So
and
different.
If you go in the spring, and it's never rainy in Sonoma on my podcast, when you go there in March and April, it's very, very green. Mm-hmm. And it's beautiful, up on the hills there. Yeah. And of course, there's giraffes. Yeah. And there's rhinoceri, because they had a baby rhinoceroses. Oh, yeah. And the lemurs are a big favorite. Yeah. The lemurs are really fun. Love the lemurs. So 100% worth it.
100% in, yeah.
Good.
It is I think it is a little pricey, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, but it's a great investment. So there.
For sure.
Okay. Here's one we got.
Yeah.
I've noticed that everything is AI these days. Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk to an AI bot. If I text you, is it a real person answering? And if I email you, who is responding?
Yeah. So behind the Sonoma Yoga scenes, it's just me. And I tried to have, because I needed help, right?
Yeah.
So I did have an AI bot texting for a while, but it didn't work. And so I removed that service.
Right.
And I will say I've been really against ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I do our social media, our emails, and our Instagram. And I have used it twice just because of time. And I felt bad, and I typed in what I wanted, and it came out, and it was really great.
Right.
And I used it. I used it. So I didn't feel too bad. But I think we're going into a really weird time. And I think it's so important to have in-person connections. And I hope that the authenticity doesn't get lost when it is coming through an email or an Instagram post or anything.
Right.
So if you text, it's me. I'm sorry if I didn't text you back in time.
No. No, this is a question
I know. Oh, really?
But
I just answered.
You're so funny because you're right. If you text us right now, 707-996-1090.
Oh, yeah.
It pops on Jose's phone and my phone.
Is it Jose? You know, see?
We both share the little app, and we'll answer that thing, and we get all sorts of weird questions.
Good.
I mean, all sorts of weird questions. And if you email us, info@sonomavalley.com, we'll respond.
Yeah.
And if you walk into the visitor center, that's an actual human being. This isn't the Hall of Presidents at Epcot Center. No, these are real people. So it's
so important.
And it's exactly you're saying. I mean, I know. As a small business owner, I don't expect you to answer me. You're so funny. You're like, Tim, is this a trap?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, it is kind of hard, though. I have someone that I work with that texts, emails, and WhatsApps. And going back to our diffusion of communication, I'm like, we have to choose one channel of communication.
Yeah. I think communication is just, it's hard everywhere.
It is.
It's hard everywhere.
Yeah.
And because of our find someone else that knows more than I do, and then have a meeting about have a show about it.
Right.
Our attention span is changing.
Yes.
Because of the way that we take in information. Yes. And so I think it's very layered.
It is. Yeah. I'll get a therapist in here.
There you go. Yeah,
couples counseling on vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, this call came in yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday.
Yeah, thank you.
On Thursday. This
Happy
is important.
Friday.
Thank you. This call came in, and it was kind of irate, but we answered it.
Yeah.
I went to the Friday's farmers market today and noticed it wasn't going on. What happened, and will there be a market on Friday?
So again, back to communication, what we were just saying. They got the day wrong, and they're blaming someone else. I'm sorry.
100%. And what was funny was I got the call. I'm like, okay, I'm going to call back and not be nice. Like, I will try to be nice.
Yeah.
But I'll kind of be giggling or whatever. So I turned over to Jan in my office, who's a very nice woman.
Yeah.
And Jan called, and she's very sweet.
Yeah.
And she explained that today was Thursday.
Yeah.
When this person called.
Yeah.
But
I mean, hey,
I get confused.
The holidays are hard, right? We're just out of it.
We're just circling back. We don't even know what's going on, man.
Yeah, it's hard to, our job.
Yeah.
We're customer service.
100%.
Right? And so the customer is not always right.
Yeah. True.
But we can't say that, right? And so we have to diffuse. Yeah. Diffuse and distract.
So and the way she said it was good news. You can still go to the Friday's Farmer Market.
She's so smart.
Because it's tomorrow.
I like Jan.
Jan is amazing. Good job, Jan. Okay, here's another question we got. This is via email. Hi, we're a family of 4 looking for a low-key Sonoma experience this weekend. We are all over 21 and would be interested in a reasonable tasting experience, but would also be interested in any wineries that allow us to just walk around and enjoy the grounds. We like wine, but we're more interested in the charming environment. So if there's something we could do that could be cheaper, not an actual winery if necessary, but with the same ambiance, that would be great. Any suggestions? Appreciated. Thank you, Amy.
Pretty. Okay, Amy. So I would send you to the Sonoma Botanical Garden.
Yes.
Because you're outside, you're enjoying the beautiful Sonoma Valley, and there isn't wine. But optional, you could go down to Imagery down the street. And I know that Imagery and Sonoma Botanical Garden have a deal going on right now that I just saw it on Instagram. I think if you do a tasting at Imagery, you get a pass to the garden.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, I think I just saw that.
I'm very happy.
And we know Imagery's connected to Benziger. Yep. So if you don't want to do that, you could go to Jack London
100%.
Park, right, across from Benziger. And then you could also have the wine experience if you wanted to add that.
That's exactly it.
Those are the 2 things I would send you.
I love that. You're hired.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know that in Sonoma, we are famous for our wine. Our wine is amazing.
Yeah.
But you don't have to just do wine. And you can do wine, like Yoga Plus,
right,
Wine
exactly.
Plus.
Yeah, we've done yoga and wine events.
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing. I would also, you mentioned one before, Sonoma Garden Park is a really cool spot.
Beautiful.
And then I often tell people, just hang out at the plaza.
Yeah.
You can do some, the tourist kick walk. You do that slow little walk. You kind of kick. You walk, oh, look, a candle shop.
Yeah.
I need to go in there.
Yeah. Totally.
So that's really fun. So you can do that.
Yeah.
And if you have kids, go to the
Right. I am sending you off of the Sonoma Square with those two suggestions.
That's fine. This is whole Sonoma Valley.
Yeah, exactly.
And we are very all encompassing there. This question came in right before I left, so I decided to throw it in the last minute.
Yesterday? You left
right before I came here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Where can I buy local jam?
Sonoma Market.
I think that's a good place.
Right?
Yeah. That's a good question, isn't it? Because
there's got to be a place on the square that has jam.
well, there's a couple places. It could be anywhere, but
Yeah.
I bet you Epicurean Connection, Shauna Davis out there. She makes all sorts of great stuff. She has that secret marmalade that she will not give me the recipe for. It's like this orange honey stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you need to
my
give
favorite.
Yes, Shauna, and she won't give me the recipe. So what I do is I just
Would
book
you make
her.
it though?
No.
Okay.
But I always try to book her back on here because why don't you bring some of that orange marmalade?
Exactly.
So I bet you Shauna Davis has it. You're right, Sonoma Market, Sonoma Farmers Market, Tuesday Night Market. The Springs had a market going on for a while in the summer. Glen Ellen has a market sometimes. So any farmer's market will probably have it. But I bet you there's probably lots of people that sell jam in jam season.
Yeah.
We're kind of near the end of that because jam season kind of happens between the strawberry time and like the blueberries and the rhubarbs and whatever. But yeah, you can buy it. And you can probably just knock on some grandma's door and be like, do you happen to have jam?
Bring your jar.
Yeah. And if she has a gingham dress on, probably. She probably has jam.
Love me gingham.
Do you know how to make jam?
No.
I don't know either. It involves sugar.
Yeah. Oh, there's sugar for sure in my house, but.
You said you love gingham. Oh, because you're a fashion person.
Yeah. Love gingham.
For real? Okay. I had a stylist on.
Oh, okay.
She was great. Malia, I'll have her back.
Oh, yeah.
And she often critiques, she notices, she says, Tim, you wear the same 2 or 3 shirts on every podcast.
Yeah.
And people watching this right now can scroll up and down and see the thumbnails. I literally wear, today's the blue one.
Yeah.
And I have a red one.
It's your uniform.
Thank you.
Okay, you have a uniform.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Yes.
She wasn't critiquing you in a bad way. It's good, I think.
Well, she keeps saying I should stop buying my clothing at the same place I buy cream cheese at Costco.
Oh.
But Costco's got everything. If your standards are very low, and you want to find something,
a good job.
Thank you. I'm like, I need garbage can liners,
Yeah.
right? And I need 10 pounds of mangoes.
So are more
and
people?
a shirt.
Yeah, exactly. It's
And
there
that's
for you. It's
Costco,
there.
right?
But are more people listening to you than watching you?
Yes, I think.
Right?
Yes.
So that's something to look at.
Yeah. So I'm very fashionable.
Yeah.
And but I was gonna.
Are you going to add a print? It's just she want you to have a print on? Would that look better?
I don't know. I will let you know. I believe I am a late winter in my coloring.
Oh, your colors.
Yes.
Oh, have you done that? Because there's people that do that. Your chart, and they tell you what colors you are and what fabrics
I
you
had
are.
it done in like 7th grade during a career day. A woman came in and she put yellow on me and she said, don't ever wear yellow.
No marigolds for you.
You're going to look like you're about to vomit.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
What about like a dark gray, but then the back's gray?
Oh, right here?
Yeah, that
we
would
got to
not
work
look
on that.
good.
Well, this is the
Yeah,
studio, but we can,
yeah.
I can put something up there.
Yeah.
There's also the thing that and now we're going deep into this.
Yeah.
I, like 8% of men, have color blindness. And so I will often choose the same things over and over and over because I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to
makes
think
it
about
easy.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like 100% men. No,
It's
maybe 90.
No, you're absolutely. And it's not just color blindness. I could just be like lazy on
My
that.
husband my husband loves Lululemon.
Okay.
And he loves their pants and their shirts, and he just has the pants, their A, B, C pant or something. He has them in every color, and the shirt.
Wait, is this like Granimals where the A and the B matches? Like,
I think it's called the ABC pant.
oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's not like A matches with the A shirt matches with B pants.
There you go.
Yeah. Do you remember Granimals? Like elephants match with elephants, and it was like so kids could match their clothing.
No, I don't even know what word you're saying. Granimals?
Granimals
No,
were a way for kids to dress themselves. So
They should just be able to dress themselves.
no, but like imagine you're like
Yeah.
3 and you don't know what to put on. So like match the elephant with the elephant.
Yeah.
Match the giraffe with the giraffe.
Yeah.
You really don't know about
So
this.
that the kids match, or just they're able to
I
put on their
don't
own
know.
clothes.
Maybe they know that
My
one's
kids
a
can
shirt.
put on their own clothes. I don't know.
What are you, you're some sort of Montessori mom over here doing your Waldorf?
Waldorf. You knew it.
Oh my!
You knew it.
I saw you felting when we came
Yeah.
in.
Friday would be Green Day.
Thank
so
you.
you should be wearing green.
I will do that. Waldorf. Were you like just like moving some cow manure in the ground and doing
I'm not.
some?
No, it's different than that.
You're not full on
yeah.
Steiner.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay, where were we? So, yes, this was wonderful.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
a stylist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You answered all the questions correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, Jess, you did it. If you ever don't work in yoga world anymore,
the
visitor center is hiring.
Oh, I would be good at that.
Yeah, we're hiring volunteers, though. So the pay is not that amazing.
The pay's not great where I work either.
But the staff are great. The work experience is
kidding.
good. No, it is good. It is good. Okay, Jess, if people have more questions about Sonoma Yoga, what is that website again?
Yeah, it's sonoma-yoga.com. If you email hello@sonoma-yoga.com, or if you text 707-935-8600, it's me, and I'm happy to answer any question you have. We hope you show up.
Thank you. It's been wonderful to have you here, Jess. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tim.
After you go to sonomayoga.com, that was the hyphen.
Yeah.
Please go to sonomavalley.com for deals, special offers, and events. Quick reminder that we're in the middle of our wellness season right now, so lots of cool wellness stuff going on. Mm-hmm. And then Sonoma Sips starts February 15th through March 15th. It's $15 wine tastings at more than 40 Sonoma Valley wineries. And then we move into spring in Sonoma when the mustard fields start to bloom. So all that information is at sonomavalley.com. Jess, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks so much, Tim.
Mom and Dad, thanks for listening. Everybody have a great week. Bye-bye.